I didn't plan to go. I want to say that first. This wasn't some mission. I didn't wake up thinking I'd pack a bag and go back to where they never found him. It just happened. It started with a box. Plain. From the county office. I thought it was tax stuff. Or a mistake. Inside was that recorder. The old Olympus one. The same kind Dad always carried when he worked out there. He used to say, "Your memory lies, but the mic never does." It was a joke back then. I didn't even know they still had it. They told us everything was logged. All the evidence reviewed. And that it didn't help. But I guess something came out of storage. I don't know. Maybe a cleanup. Maybe just bad luck. I held it for a long time before pressing play. Just sat on the floor with the headphones on. The battery light still worked. Somehow. The first few minutes were nothing. Breathing. Wind. His boots on dirt. And him talking to himself in that calm way he always did when he was focused. Just small notes. Ridge line holding. Sunset about 6:40. Low temp, colder than forecast. I hadn't heard his voice in 7 years. It didn't feel like memory. It felt like now. Like he was just out of frame. But then, near the end of the file, he said something else. "If someone finds this, tell Ben not to come. I mean it. Not even to look." His voice cracked on that part. Not fear. Just something softer. He said, "It's not what we thought. It's not people out here." Then silence. Almost a minute. Then one more line. "I think I've seen myself. And I don't think I'm me anymore." Click. Done. I don't remember much after that. I didn't sleep. Just sat in the dark. Thinking about how he said my name like I was still a kid. I don't even know why I packed. I don't hike. Not really. I mean, I camped with him when I was young. But not since. But I still had the boots. And his compass. And the coat he left behind that I couldn't throw out. I didn't tell anyone. There's no one left to tell. Just me now. And the thing that made his voice sound like that. I got there late. Too late to hike in proper. But I went anyway. The road was mostly gravel by then. Washed out in places. The signs were rotted. Just outlines left where letters used to be. But I had his notes. I had the GPS. I had the place he started from. I parked where they found his truck. Same dirt turnoff. Same tree still scarred from his tow hook. I remembered that. From the photo. I stood there for a while before I moved. Didn't even lock the car. Didn't matter. I hiked in slow. Not because I was tired. I just kept thinking about the sound of his boots in that recorder. And how mine sounded the same. Too much the same. The trail was barely there. Overgrown. Wet. Everything smelled green and thick and heavy. He'd said. Sunset about 6:40. And I caught myself checking my watch. At 6:39. Without meaning to. I stopped after 3 miles. Same distance he marked before night 1. There's an old flat spot just off the tree line. Between a dry creek bed and a split boulder. His handwriting circled it in red. I pitched the tent fast. Not because I was scared. I just didn't want to keep standing in the exact place he did. With his voice still in my head. I ate a protein bar I didn't taste. Drank from the same bottle I refilled twice. Everything felt automatic. I turned on the recorder. The same one. Not to say anything. Just to hear if it still worked. It clicked on. Red light steady. I left it on the ground outside the tent. Let it run. Like he used to. The night came in fast. The trees swallowed the light in one breath. And I was alone. Except it didn't feel that way. It wasn't a noise. Not movement. Just that stillness again. Like the woods had stopped to listen. Like they remembered something. I crawled into the tent. Zipped it closed. And thought. I should say something. Into the recorder. But I didn't. Because the first thing that came to mind was the exact line he said. And I didn't want to hear it. In my own voice. I didn't sleep much. Maybe an hour. Maybe less. I kept thinking I'd hear something. Footsteps. Branches. Him. But the woods stayed still. Not peaceful. Just quiet in a way that wasn't natural. Like everything was waiting. I sat up before the sun. Unzipped the tent. The air was colder than it should have been. My breath hung in front of me longer than it should have. I stepped outside. Boots damp from dew. Recorder still sitting on the rock. Red light off. Battery died sometime in the night. I held it for a while. Didn't press play right away. Then I did. The first minute was me. Just breathing. Zipping the tent. Snapping a branch with my heel. The usual. But then. At around minute 4. Something else. My name. Soft. Close. Like someone leaned into the mic and said it. Ben. Not me. I never said it. And it wasn't Dad either. Too soft. Too slow. A woman's voice maybe. I paused it. Rewound. Played it again. Same spot. Ben. I stopped it. Looked around the clearing like that meant anything. But there was nothing. No sign of tracks. No prints. No animals. Just forest. And that pressure in the air that hadn't lifted since I got there. I tried to think logically. Maybe someone followed. Maybe a ranger came through. Maybe the mic picked up a radio bleed. But I knew better. Because I remembered something I hadn't wanted to. On Dad's final recording. At the very end. Right before the click. There was a breath. And a woman's voice. Barely audible. Like she was whispering from just outside the mic range. I hadn't noticed it at first. Not clearly. Just thought it was noise. But now. I was sure. It was the same voice. Same shape. Same tone. Same. Ben. And I realized something else. My name. Was never said. On any recording. Except that one. And I never told anyone I was coming. I told myself I'd go back. After one night. Just enough to stand where he stood. Then head home. Say I tried. But I didn't. I packed the tent. Ate half a bar. Left the rest for animals I never saw. And I kept walking. Deeper. GPS in my left hand. His notes in my right. I followed his route exactly. Ridge marker. Dry bend in the creek. The stand of birch that doesn't belong among the pines. Everything matched. Even the time. He'd marked his second stop just below a rock shelf shaped like a whale. I got there around noon. Set down my pack. Checked the tree line. And then I saw it. Fabric. Caught on a low branch. Faded green. Torn clean across. I knew that color. Dad's jacket was that color. I'd seen the photos. From the search team. The ones they gave back to us in the binder we never opened twice. And one of them showed a sleeve. Hanging from a tree almost exactly like this one. But that picture was taken 7 years ago. And this cloth was new. Not fresh. Not untouched. But newer than it should have been. I touched it. Light. Like it might vanish. It didn't. I kept walking. Less sure. More careful. I found prints near the riverbed. Boots. Size 11. Same tread as mine. And beside them. Barefoot. Small. Too small for a man. Too long for a child. 5 toes. But the spacing was off. Like the foot didn't move like ours. I crouched. Measured with my fingers. And that's when I heard it. A voice. Not clear. Not calling. Just. Present. Like someone saying something. Then cutting out. Like a walkie dying mid-sentence. It came from upriver. Then stopped. I didn't follow it. Not yet. Just stood there. Feeling the trees press closer than they had an hour ago. I checked the GPS. But it blinked. Red. Like it lost the signal. Then came back. I didn't move for a long time. Then. Slowly. I kept going. I didn't mean to stay another night. But I was too far in. And too tired to get back before dark. I made camp near the river bend. Flat ground. Good visibility. Like that mattered. I set the recorder on a stump. Didn't press play. Just let it sit there. Dead plastic in the cold. I laid in the tent. Eyes open. Watching the fabric move just slightly with my breath. Around midnight. I heard footsteps. Not animals. Too steady. Too deliberate. Then. His voice. Not on tape. Not in memory. Out there. In the dark. He said. This part loops if you're not careful. Then a pause. Then. They'll wait until you think you're alone again. I sat up. Unzipped the tent just enough to look out. Nothing. No light. No shape. No sound of retreat. Just trees. And that voice. Still close. Don't talk to it. Don't ask questions. Don't give it your name. He wasn't talking to me. I don't think he knew I was here. I think I was hearing him. As he was. Then. Like a moment replaying itself. Exactly where it happened. Like the woods remembered it better than I did. He said one more thing before it went quiet. It looks like you. But it doesn't move right. Don't look at the face. I didn't sleep. I didn't even zip the tent again. Just sat there with the recorder in my hand. But didn't press play. Because I already knew what was on it. The sun came up. Or tried to. The sky went pale. But the ground stayed cold. I didn't move at first. Just sat outside the tent. Watching the fog move across the clearing. I was shaking. Not from cold. Just from too many things staying quiet for too long. Around 7. I started packing. Didn't eat. Didn't drink. Just folded the tent with stiff fingers. Kept glancing up every few seconds. Like I was waiting for the trees to flinch. Then I saw him. Not clearly at first. Just shape between trunks. Still. Upright. Facing me. I thought it was a hiker. Finally. Someone real. But then I saw the jacket. Mine. Not a copy. Not similar. Mine. The same. Mud smeared. Zip broken on one side. I took one step forward. And he stepped back. Same leg. Same angle. Like a reflection with just a split-second lag. I froze. He didn't. He lifted one hand. Fingers curled like holding something. But there was nothing in the hand. And then the movement broke. The way he turned. Too slow. Too smooth. Like the air had to pull him around. And as he turned, his mouth moved. But the sound came from behind me. Then, close. A woman's voice. Flat. Like the syllable didn't mean anything. I turned. Nothing. Just forest. And when I looked back, he was gone. No sound. No movement. Just empty space where the trees had been holding still. I tried to leave. Around noon I packed again. Tighter. Faster. Like speed would fix it. GPS said north was back. 2.5 miles to the trailhead. Straight shot through marked waypoints. I'd done it before. But this time, nothing looked familiar. The trees leaned wrong. Rocks weren't where I remembered. I walked for an hour. Then another. Then checked the compass. It spun once. Stopped. Then flipped 180. Like it changed its mind. I checked the GPS. Still blinking. Still showing me moving. But every 10 minutes. The distance to the trailhead grew. After 3 hours, I hit the river again. Same bend. Same fallen birch. Same stone with my boot mark on it. I wasn't walking in circles. I was walking forward. But the forest wasn't. It was folding. Around 4 p.m. I heard the recorder click on. I hadn't touched it. It was in my jacket. Powered off. But it played anyway. No light. Just sound. My voice. Breathing. Then. His voice. Dad. Not like before. Not the last message. This was new. Different tone. Less afraid. He said. You're almost back. Don't follow it past the creek. It only needs one more step. Then. A second voice. Mine. But not what I'd said. Something I hadn't said yet. I said. What if I already gave it that? Then silence. I stopped walking. Just stood there. Holding the thing. Not breathing. I turned it off. Hard. Buried it in the bottom of the pack. I didn't move again until the sun dropped behind the ridge. And I thought. If I walk one more step, maybe I don't get to be me anymore. I stopped near a stump. Not because I was tired. But because I recognized it. Same one from his notes. Page 7. He drew it like it meant something. A wide cut. Like a seat. Center hollowed out by time. I stepped around it. And saw the recorder. Mine. The Olympus. Black. Scratched. Battery plate taped over. But not the one I brought. Not the one in my pack. I checked, it was still zipped inside. This one was already here. Lying in the dirt. Half covered in pine dust. Exact same sticker on the back. Same handwriting. His. Unit 6. Still faded. Still crooked. I didn't touch it. My hands felt like ice. Like they didn't belong to me. And then it clicked. Not loudly. Just soft. As if my fingers had pressed play. But I hadn't moved. And his voice came through. Quiet. Broken. Older than before. If someone finds this, tell Ben not to come. I mean it. Not even to look. My breath stopped. And then, underneath, a second voice. Mine. Saying, I came anyway. And then, nothing. The wind didn't move. The air didn't feel like air. Everything went still. Like I'd stepped inside a picture of myself. And I realized. They didn't find this recorder and send it to me. I found it. Then left it. And someone else will find it. After. Maybe that's how it always goes. You follow the voice. You leave your own. Someone hears it. And becomes the next one to say, don't come. But someone always does. The end.